Good evening. Welcome to the Superintendent Star Award Recognition Reception tonight. My name is Diane Whiting, and I'm the Coordinator of Human Resources, as well as your Mistress of Ceremony for tonight. We are here tonight to recognize and honor not only the winners of the Superintendent Star Awards, but to recognize and honor some of our nominees as well. So tonight we want to show our appreciation for all that you do and will continue to do for Suffolk Public Schools. Later in the program, I will be sharing with the audience some of those exceptional things. At this time, I would like to introduce the principal of Creekside Elementary School, Ms. Katrina Roundtree, to bring a welcome and to greetings. Ms. Roundtree.
Good evening. I would like to welcome the 31 recipients, 2 division winners, families, colleagues, friends, school board members, and Dr. Whitney to Creekside Elementary School, home of the Gators. Whether it was a smile, a simple hello, or not, we hope that there was something said or done to make you feel welcome. Again, welcome to Creekside Elementary School.
Now we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by a 4th grader here at Creekside Elementary School, Malik Johnson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Malik Johnson. I'm a 4th grader at Creekside Elementary in Ms. Hicks' class. Now please join me with reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge States of America to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Darren Whitney, to provide opening remarks.
Thank you, and good evening. Good job, Malik. Where'd Malik go? Excellent job leading the pledge. We thank you for that. First of all, we'd like to say welcome to each of you and congratulations to the recipients who are here today. We certainly do owe you many thanks for all that you have done. In fact, as I was driving to this program tonight, I was thinking about a book that I think some of you who have been with us for a while probably remember us reading, the Fish Philosophy book. And you may recall the Fish Philosophy, it talked about organizational culture within a workplace, a school, or any type of setting. And it had 4 components that you should live by or attempt to live by while at work. The 3 that stand out for me, for these recipients, obviously I think that you live by these 3. The first one is to be present. And it's not talking necessarily about just being here, but being present for those whom you are working with and for type of thing. The next one talks about choosing your attitude. You know, we realize that we don't pay you what you're worth. We realize that many of us haven't received the type of increase as far as compensation, but you choose your attitude, which is a positive attitude on a regular basis. And then the third one, the one that comes to mind, I said, be present, choose your attitude, but also the last one that I think is most important is to make someone's day. And that relates to customer service, being there and making someone's day. Regardless of how your day might be going, you make someone's day. When I think of this award, when I think back to how it started, I think of one of our veteran board members years ago, prior to my administration, where the board member said we need to recognize more of our employees. And we started where we would recognize 2 per quarter. They'd come to the school board meeting, which was great. But then we started to think we need to recognize more because we have a lot of good employees. We have a lot of employees who are doing lots of good things for our school division. And those employees are being recognized today. It's made it a little bit more challenging because we recognize so many, but we also realize that, again, we have so many that we have to choose from. But you're here today because you were top-notch and you made the cut. So congratulations to each of you. I thank you for being here today. I appreciate all that you do, and I ask that you continue to put forth much effort in all that you do. Thank you very much for being here. And now we're going to introduce our school board members who are here. Thank you, Diane, for reminding me. We do have 4 of our school board members who are here. We like to recognize them because they attend many meetings, and they certainly deserve Star Awards as well. First of all, we have Mr. Mick, one of our school board members. Mrs. Linda Bouchard. Mrs. Lorraine Skeeter. And Mrs. Phyllis Byram. Thank you once again, and enjoy the program.
It is now time to honor and recognize the actual Superintendent Star Award winners for tonight. The Superintendent Star Award winners were presented with a banner, which you can see behind me here, by our Superintendent, Dr. Whitney, to be displayed at their building. Then Ms. Jennifer Smack, president of Suffolk Education Foundation, will also present each Star Award winner with a check from the Suffolk Education Foundation. Okay, somebody's excited about that check. Our Instructional Star Award winner was nominated by Joanne Murray, who's a teacher at Nansemond River High School. Ms. Murray, please come forward to introduce and present the Instructional Star Award winner.
Good evening. I'm pleased to share some words about my best friend. When parents send their children to school, they have certain expectations. Of course, they expect the teacher to be competent, but they are also looking for a teacher who will care about their children, inspire them, and finally, help them if they fall behind. I'm proud to say Gina Hancock is that teacher. She's the teacher who catches a student in the hall to say, "I noticed how hard you worked on yesterday's quiz. If you keep up with that attitude, you'll pass your SOL." She's the teacher who takes the time to thank a child. "I appreciate that you helped to tutor Sarah. You made a big difference for her. Thank you." She's the teacher who kneels at a teenager's desk to make sure that he started the problem correctly. She's the teacher who catches that subtle bully, the one making the noises to upset the child with autism, and takes the bully outside to explain that she has higher expectations for him and that she's looking for a new attitude for him. She's the teacher who embraces new ideas and shares them with her colleagues. She's the teacher who tutors every time she gets a chance, pulling students from study hall, from skill support, from athletic practice, and even from other classes when she can. She's the teacher who gives up family time to look at her data, to redesign the pacing and all of the activities for that quarter, and to call me and complain about doing it. And finally, she's the superstar that every parent would like to have for their child. The greatest compliment that I can give Gina is that I would be thrilled to have you to teach my own daughter. Gina, you are truly an outstanding teacher and a wonderful best friend. You inspire me daily.
Thank you very much, Joanne, for those kind words. Good evening, and thank you very much for this award. I've been an educator for 30 years. 8 of those years have been here in Suffolk, and I'm very pleased to be working at Nansemond River High School with a great administrative staff, Mr. McLemore and Ms. Bibbo and Mr. Miltier. And I have to say that after 30 years, I've entered a new phase of my teaching career. Both of my daughters are now teaching. Last year, Mr. McLemore hired my oldest daughter, Nicole, and she teaches in the room right next to me, where my best friend Joanne's across the hall. So that's a lot of fun, and I try to give words of wisdom to Nicole. Yesterday, she came to me and said, "Mom, my projector, the top part and the bottom part of it it's not showing anything. Can you come fix it?" So I went to her room to help her fix her projector, and when I left, I had the projection upside down. So we then had to call somebody else to come fix it. And then my youngest daughter is teaching first grade. It's her first year as a teacher, and I so enjoy going home every night and hearing the stories about first grade. And then I often am surprised that the way first grade behaves is the same way high school students behave. So it's really a great time in my life that I'm getting to enjoy teaching with my daughters, and my husband is doing well with 3 teachers in the house. So we're getting through that. But thank you very much for this award. I'm very honored.
Oh, she's already here. Okay, come on. This is Jennifer Smack.
On behalf of the Suffolk Education Foundation, we would like to congratulate you on your award and provide you with a small token of our appreciation.
Thank you.
And we'll make sure you get your banner before you leave today. It's hanging right here, so congratulations. Our Support Star Award winner was nominated by Ms. Barbara Espinosa. Ms. Espinosa was unable to be here tonight, so Ms. Beth Ann Bradshaw, our Public Information Officer, is going to fill in for her and introduce our winner tonight.
Good evening. Michael Smith was nominated by elementary summer school teacher Barbara Espinosa, who praised him for volunteering to work with her engineering students as they learned about computers. Mr. Smith has been an IT technician with the division's technology department since October 2014, and he previously worked in manufacturing management for 17 years and served his country during a year-long deployment to Afghanistan. Ms. Espinosa said in her nomination that he brought in old equipment for students to tear apart and put back together, and although he's not a teacher, he had great strategies to get the students interested in the project. He encouraged teamwork and creativity. Several students stated that the inside of the computer looked like a city. He sparked their interest in technology by taking time out of his day to inspire them. Students said his project was one of their favorite activities in their enrichment class. So congratulations, Mr. Smith. If you'd come forward.
Good evening, Dr. Whitney, members of the school board, fellow associates, and guests. I can't begin to explain what this really means to me to be standing up here and receive this award. I really do appreciate it. I was asked to mention a couple of things about what I love about my job. First and foremost is my coworkers. You guys mean a lot to me. It really does mean a lot to be able to come into work and work with you every day. Secondly, is helping people. So Gina, if you need help with the projector, please give me a call. I'll be glad to. All in all, I just want to say thank you again.
Don't run away too fast. We're going to present you with a nice check. So.
If you don't want, I'll keep it. On behalf of the Suffolk Education Foundation, we'd like to congratulate you on your award and provide you with a small token of our appreciation. Thank you.
All right, now it's time to pay tribute to all of our nominees. I'm going to start with our instructional award nominees. Let me get out my little trusty paperwork so I can actually read from the nominations. I'm just going to read a little bit from each nomination, given the nominator's name as well. Please come up when your name is called. The nominator, if you're here, please stand up while I read from the nomination, and you'll get to shake hands with our illustrious superintendent here and receive your certificate of appreciation and recognition from us. And then we're going to do a little photo op, I believe, over here to the left. So just stay up here when you receive your certificate. If you are not here, I guess you won't be coming up, obviously. But anyway, I will still read a little bit from your nomination. If there's a administrator or a supervisor here, if they're here on your behalf, they can come up and receive the certificate for you. All right, we're going to get through this pretty quickly. I know it's a lot to read, but bear with us. Our first nominee is Rochelle Armstrong Washington, who's a lead special ed teacher at Mac Ben Junior Elementary. She was nominated by Franchetta, and forgive me on the names, Ajibola, who's an employee here with Suffolk Public Schools. Miss Ajibola writes, Miss Armstrong Washington welcomed me as a first-time teacher to Mac Band Jr. with open arms. She has taken me under her wings, tutors me, and makes sure that I follow the rigorous routine of a first-year teacher. With my many screw-ups, she has never complained or ridiculed me. Instead, she laughs with me and continues to encourage me to do my best. And I think I saw this person here, Miss Elkie Boone, who's the assistant principal at Kings Fork High School, who was nominated by her principal, Dr. Ron Lee. Ron Lee writes, Ms. Elkie Boone has been a teacher and administrator at Kings Fork High School since it opened in 2010. Ms. Boone was also a Teacher of the Year at Kings Fork High School. It goes without saying that this year at Kings Fork High School was filled with uncertainty and new beginnings. Ms. Boone was the only administrator left from the previous year at Kings Fork High School and has been an integral part in the fast start and success we have had thus far. Ms. Boone's dedication and unselfishness has helped our students and staff get off to a great start. We have not only gained a coworker, but a family member as well. Lindsay Brown, who's a special ed teacher at Elephants Fork Elementary, was nominated by Meredith Kerr, who's also one of our employees as well. Ms. Kerr writes, not only am I a teacher, but a parent. My son has autism. Ms. Brown has been so patient and caring in planning his education. This is Ms. Brown's first year teaching. Her professionalism is beyond compare. From a parent's point of view, I could not ask for a better education for my son. Sarah Catlett, who is a guidance director at Kings Fork Middle School, was nominated by Public Information Officer Beth Ann Bradshaw. Ms. Bradshaw writes, she was called the rubber cement for the 2015 College and Career Readiness Fair and applauded for her stick-to-itiveness. Ooh, that's a good one. Stick-to-itiveness. Sarah has co-chaired the event for 2 previous years with the director of the Pruden Center. But when the director left in the summer, Sarah effectively took over the final hectic months of event planning, which coincided with the first hectic months of the new school year. Okay, my next nominee was nominated by a few students and also an employee for Suffolk Public Schools. Cecilia Cesario, I hope I'm close with these names, who's a teacher at Nansemond River High School. Nick Hilaire, who's one of our employees here, wrote, different, unique classroom, teaching methods, doesn't do the generic, boring teaching that is usual. Joshua Schuyler, who's a student, says, Ms. Cicero has helped me through some hard times during the school year, and she is like a mother to me. She helps me with work in class she helps me with my work in class and teaches really well when everybody can understand what she is teaching us. Another student, Brian De Los Santos, teaches in a fun way. Myron Goldsmith, another student. I'm nominating Miss C because she actually makes chemistry fun and engaging. Last student, River Fiedler, thank you. I nominate this teacher because she is one of the best teachers I have ever had. She is patient with everyone and she does hands-on learning with awesome experiments, and that's how I learn best. Lori Crassley, which is a special ed teacher at Forest Glen Middle School, nominated by Tiffany Truitt, who's one of our Suffolk Public Schools employees. Ms. Crassley is one of the best co-teachers I have had the pleasure of working with in 10 years of being an educator. Besides having the patience of a saint, Ms. Crassley truly cares for each of the students in our class, whether they are special ed or not. She is compassionate, kind, and a true asset to Suffolk Public Schools. Tamia Crawford, who's a special ed teacher at Kilby Shores Elementary School, was nominated by Alexandra Banker, who's one of our employees as well. She writes, she is positive and encouraging with students. She follows up with them when she gives them assignments and will break it down so they understand the concepts. She makes the effort to communicate with the parents of each student so they know how their child is progressing. All of her students have shown significant progress since starting in her class. She deserves to be recognized after over 15 years of hard work for Suffolk Public Schools. Okay, this next teacher was nominated by about 6 students here, so bear with me here. We're just going to read a line from each of their nominations. Teacher is Darius Ferguson, a teacher at Nansemond River High School. He was nominated by, like I say, several students. Stacy Riddick, right? He's nice and helps students before and after school if they need extra help. Nija Shannon, you have a great attitude and ready to teach every time you come to class. Your work ethic is phenomenal. This is the student writing this, and I learned lots of things. Another student, Rajay Turner, he is an amazing teacher who makes sure his students understand what is happening in the classroom, in the school, and in real life. Tori Williams, Mr. Ferguson is a brilliant person who is willing to help his students through anything. Taylor Flythe, Coach Ferguson is an extraordinary teacher. He has increased the confidence of many students and has also made students comfortable enough to learn and ask questions without hesitation. Last student, Harlan C. St. Louis. Mr. Ferguson has impacted in many positive ways in the field as a coach, in the classroom as my teacher, and as a friend. Thank you. Ronnie Gay was nominated by a student as well. She's a teacher at Turlington Woods. Maybe she's not here, I guess. Her administrator here. Okay, he can come forward and receive her recognition in her place. The student is Kiara Hollis. I see Ms. Gay as my role model. She has been there for me through a self-changing time in my life. She is the best teacher I have ever had. No one deserves the award more than Ms. Gay. Melody Griffin, a principal here at Driver and Florence Bowser Elementary. She was nominated by a parent and 2 employees of hers. The parent writes, who is Summer Johnson. She writes, Ms. Griffin is a very caring and enthusiastic person. She keeps the staff motivated, and the school has such a warm and loving atmosphere. The teachers, staffs, and volunteers have smiles on their faces. Mrs. Teal, who's one of her employees, writes, she is always there for you, has great faith, and her word is her bond. Jennifer Soriano writes, Ms. Griffin deserves this award for so many reasons. She is an example of perseverance and excellence. She leads with her heart, and her heart is with the families of Suffolk Public Schools. Ruth Harrell, who's an early start teacher at Booker T. Washington Elementary. She was nominated by Larkita Taylor, who's not only is she an employee, but she's a parent as well. I would like to nominate Ms. Harrell for the Star Award because she is an all-around great asset to the 4-year-old program. She shows interest in her children's academic achievements. Since being in her class, my son loves going to school, and more than anything, he's excited to learn. Linda Hurwitz, who's an orchestra teacher at Lakeland High School. She was nominated by a parent and an employee. The parent is Nicole Pastel. Ms. Pastel writes, although the orchestra class is small at Lakeland High School, Ms. Hurwitz goes above and beyond to offer the class opportunities to shine. Recently, the group played seasonal music to open the faculty meeting, and Ms. Hurwitz put together special notes for the students to thank them for their participation. Robert E. Clure, who is a parent for Suffolk Public Schools. When my son started 6th grade, he had never played a musical instrument. After just a little over 2 years of instruction by Ms. Hurwitz, he has made it into the district orchestra. As a parent, I am also grateful that she always keeps us informed of everything that is happening in a timely manner. It is because of Ms. Hurwitz's teaching abilities and dedication that he has been so successful. Mary Joyner, who's a teacher at Hill Point Elementary. She was nominated by Patrina Howell, who's one of our employees here. Ms. Howe writes, Ms. Joyner is a great inspiration to the preschool team at Hill Point Elementary School. I've never experienced a relationship with a teacher that is motherly at all times, even while teaching. Ms. Joyner, in my opinion, is always looking for a way to be a better teacher by uncovering hidden treasures and possibilities for the children in a way that looks like magic right before everyone's eyes. Her style of teaching is displayed in a compassionate, very thoughtful way throughout the school and a community which has a great impact in the Suffolk Public School system. LaClada Odom, math teacher at John F. Kennedy Middle School. We got a little fan club. She's nominated by Candace Mowrett, who's one of our employees as well. Ms. Mowrett writes, Ms. Odom is a model teacher. She has only been at John F. Kennedy Middle School 3 years, but has already taken on a valuable leadership role. She is very dedicated to the success of her students. She stays after school, and every day is in all caps, so every day to tutor her students and sometimes other students. She is certainly a star and worthy of the Superintendent Star Award. Next nominee is Daniel Pine. He's a math teacher at Kings Fork High School. Okay, he's not here, but okay, he's doing other things. William Ford nominated him, who's one of our employees as well. Dan Pine has made a significant impact on mathematical instruction and student learning at Kings Fork High School. As the lead teacher for regular and honors Algebra 2, Dan has shown strong leadership and exceptional organizational ability. Dan Pine has also made a significant impact serving as a teacher in the IB program at Kings Fork High School. As a math instructor, he has exceeded the world average for IB mathematical students' SL exam scores. Julie Placencia, I hope I'm close with that. She's a gifted resource teacher at Hill Point Elementary. She was nominated by Brandy Roberts, who's one of our employees as well. Ms. Roberts writes, Julie is a wonderful gifted resource teacher. She comes up with some amazing hands-on science lessons that are inclusive as well as differentiated for the many different learning abilities in my classroom. She is able to take a suggested topic or idea and create a lesson that actively engages all students. She is such a wonderful resource to have at our school and an amazing asset to our faculty. Jason Reed, who's a teacher, and they also put cross-country coach here at Nansman River High School. He was nominated by 2 students. Nicholas Gill writes, at the end of last school year, it looked like we wouldn't have a cross-country coach. Mr. Reed was willing to take the time out of his summer and his school year in order to help us out and lead us. He ended up being one of the best coaches I have ever had because he was understanding, but yet he still wanted the best for us. When it comes to teaching, I have had him for 2 years now, and even though we butt heads at times, he has taught me a lot and helped me to excel past what I thought my limits were, cross-country and schooling, he says. Aiden Foster, who is a student, he is a great teacher who makes learning physics fun and simple. Finally, our last, I believe, instructional nominee, Anitra Smith, who's an early start teacher at Pioneer Elementary. She was nominated by Rebecca Jenkins, who's one of our parents. Ms. Jenkins writes, as my son's first teacher, she has gone above and beyond to help him and me with this transition. For every concern or question I've had, she has talked and worked with me. Not only does he struggle with the transition, but also with trying new things. He would just say he couldn't do it and shut down. We found it, okay. Ms. Smith recommended a book to read with him, and we discussed ways to help him work through hard things instead of just shutting down. She is so positive all the time that my son can't help but respond in a positive manner. So that's all of our nominees for the Student Instructional Star Awards. Okay, we're ready to do the support Star Award nominees now, and we're going to follow the same procedure. I'm going to start with Shonda Bell, who's a secretary at Hill Point Elementary School. Got a few fans for her as well. She was nominated by Jacinda Woodall, who's a parent and an employee as well. And Ms. Woodall writes, from the first encounter with her in the office this summer until this day, she has been an exceptional example of how great things should be handled and how people, big and little, should be treated. She is about the students, but she also takes care of everyone else in the process. I am nominating her for the Star Award because she is the perfect example of all the great things and people Suffolk Public Schools has to offer. Our next nominee is Sherry Booker, who's a clerk dispatcher at the Transportation Department. She was nominated by Beth Garrett, who's one of our employees here at Suffolk Public Schools. Ms. Garrett writes, Sherry has been responsible, at least from an admin assistant point of view, for implementing the Travel Tracker program for Suffolk Public Schools. She provided in-service to SAO secretaries and administrators on how to use the program, and she is constantly in contact with SAO secretaries about making sure that field trips are approved in a timely manner. In my opinion, there are times when she goes above and beyond her job by putting field trips in the system for us to make sure the students are not penalized. She is a great person to work with. Al Quinton Boone, who's a bus aide and also a volunteer, so I guess he's working for us in both capacities. He's at Hill Point Elementary, and his principal, Catherine Pichon, nominated him at Hill Point Elementary. She writes, Mr. Boone not only works at Suffolk Public Schools as a bus aide, he volunteers every day at Hill Point Elementary School. Immediately after his bus delivers students to the school, you can find Mr. Boone cleaning the windows of the school's front entrance, sweeping the stairs, or helping out in the cafeteria during the students' lunch period. We truly appreciate Mr. Boone's service, and all of us at Hill Point want to nominate him for the Superintendent Star Award. Our next nominee is Beth Ann Bradshaw, who you've met earlier. She was nominated by the Suffolk Education Foundation President, Jennifer Smack, and immediate past President, David Mitnick. Bradshaw is the division's Public Information and Community Relations Officer. Gosh, trying to get that out. They applauded her commitment serving behind the scenes to ensure the SEF-sponsored events, such as the annual State of the Schools Breakfast and Learning Fair and the Masquerade Gala, are all a positive reflection on the SEF and Suffolk Public Schools. Beth Ann is and has been a prime reason for the success of the Suffolk Education Foundation for the past 22 years. Stacy Brenneman, who's a school nurse for McBain Junior Elementary. I do know that she's probably not going to be here. I think they let us know that. So we'll ask that our principal, I believe I saw Mr. Dave LaFave here, to come up and receive her certificate for her. She was nominated by Melody Guthrie, who was a Suffolk Public Schools employee as well. Ms. Guthrie writes, Ms. Brenneman, our school nurse, had a vital role in diagnosing a second-grade student with a life-threatening heart condition. Ms. Brenneman contacted the student's parents and highly suggested that they take her to the nearest emergency for further evaluation. While they were at the ER, she was diagnosed with a heart condition that required the student to have a pacemaker inserted to regulate the heartbeat. Without Ms. Brenneman's quick assessment of the situation, the outcome may have been different. Keisha Hicks was administrative secretary, actually at the school board office. She was nominated by Beth Garrett, who's nominated someone else. Thank you, Beth Garrett. She writes that Ms. Hicks can always be called upon to help colleagues with workload. She is often, always, the go-to person for technology needs within the instructional department. She often has to troubleshoot problems and to figure out a way to solve them, and she always does quickly and efficiently. She is often called upon by supervisors to go above and beyond, and she always does it so cheerfully. Angela Knight, a cafeteria manager for Northern Shores Elementary School. She was nominated by Maria Iring, a guidance counselor for Suffolk Public Schools. Ms. Iring writes, I have known her for 8 years, and she consistently shows the following. Always, and I mean always, calm, cool, and collected as a person in charge on a day-to-day basis with the usual routine. Stepped up to serve as a tent manager and smoothly took on more responsibility. Highly organized and appreciative of help, serves good food, and has praise from students or staff parents for the tasty lunches. Never have I seen her show anger towards anyone when great frustration occurs. And when working with hundreds of elementary children, this is exceptional character. She's a great role model. I am grateful daily for her presence here. We got another one of our nurses nominated, Michelle Mabry, nurse at Forest Glen Middle School. She was nominated by Nancy Eason, who's one of our employees as well. Ms. Eason writes, Nurse Mabry is working the whole time at work. Okay, good, that's a good thing. She helps me when I have a lot of going on in the front office. She treats the students kindly and professionally. She always has time for parents and staff to share their concerns. She helps when getting gifts for needy students at Christmas and when we have hardships during the year. She is a wonderful co-worker, wife, and mother as well. Lisa McNamara is our public information assistant, and she was nominated by Bath Ann Bradshaw, public information officer. She was called the rubber band that energized the division to present another highly successful college and career readiness fair this past November. She worked enthusiastically to book 17 colleges and post-secondary institutes for the vendor fair, helped to secure 19 workshop presenters, and when the planning committee chairman had a family emergency 2 days before the event, Lisa stepped forward to pull it all together. You can't take pictures. You got to be in the picture, you know. Okay. Ann Nelson, who's a paraprofessional at Nansman Parkway Elementary. She was nominated by Charlotte Matz, okay, thank you, who's one of our employees as well. Ms. Matz writes, Ann is a wonderful paraprofessional. Most importantly, she works with the kids, and I can tell that she loves her job. She is quick and efficient and is always up to the challenge. Her duties include, but are not limited to, helping other teachers in the building, being a wonderful staff member to be associated with, helping children meet their reading goals, in charge of PALS intervention assistance. I am so blessed to have her in my classroom this year. Stephen Shapiro, who's one of our plumbers at the maintenance department, who was nominated by Deb Shapiro, which is suspiciously, maybe they're related, but she's one of our employees as well as a parent. She writes, Stephen worked for a number of years as the only plumber with just a helper. He has managed to single-handedly keep the entire school system plumbing in good repair and updated as needed. He is on call 24/7 and quickly responds to off-hours emergencies when needed. Best of all, he enjoys his job. I realize he is my husband, so I was right, and I am extra proud of him for his work, but he truly deserves recognition to his contributions to Suffolk Public Schools, for his contributions to Suffolk Public Schools. Bryant Thomas, who's one of our cafeteria managers at John F. Kennedy Middle, was nominated by Dr. Martina B. Jones, one of our employees here. She writes, it is with humility, honor, and great pride that I nominate a well-deserved and overdue candidate and his team for the Suffolk Public Schools Star Award. Mr. Thomas and his team are truly the unsung heroes of our school. They go over and beyond the call of duty to provide hot meals, a loving and caring environment, concern for the children, positive attitudes about having a good day, enthusiasm regarding doing your best. Many times our cafeteria staff is overlooked. Many times they provide the first hot meal in the morning, the meal for lunch, and for the students who stay for Boys and Girls Club, the last meal of the day. Thank you. We appreciate you. You make a difference in the educational process and instruction delivery of the children we serve every day. Phoebe Whitaker, which is our office manager for front office at Lakeland High School. She was nominated by Gail Barker, need to wear my glasses, Gail Barker, one of our Suffolk Public Schools employees. There is never a day that Ms. Whitaker doesn't have a smile on her face and a kind word for everyone. She sits at the front desk fielding phone calls and visitors all day and still finds time to help anyone who wanders into the office with a problem. Sometimes students or others are upset by the time they reach the office, and Ms. Whitaker always handles them respectfully and professionally. Ms. Whitaker is a joy to work with and is definitely a star at our school. Last but not least, Ms. Norma Williams, the teacher assistant at Elephants Fork Elementary School. Okay, maybe, oh, there she is. She was nominated by two people, Laura McGurn and Tawana Hart. Ms. McGurn writes, Norma has been an amazing teacher assistant for me this year. She has come to the classroom and assisted with me with students every day. She has a great relationship with the students, and they love coming to work with her in reading. Norma has been with the school for many years, but in the 2 years that I have worked at Elephants Fork, she has gone above and beyond the call of duty. I am pleased to nominate Norma Williams for the Superintendent's Award. Tawana Hart writes, Ms. Williams goes beyond the duties as a teacher assistant. When working in my class, she provides my students with the extra support they need in order to succeed. Overall, Ms. Williams is deserving of this award for all the work and contributions she does for and around the school. Let's give all of our nominees and winners a final round of applause. We'd also like to thank Ms. Katrina Roundtree and her student hosts and hostesses for their support today. And we'd also like to thank Mr. Brian Williams for the food you're about to partake. You haven't done it yet, but shortly after this, you'll be able to taste that wonderful food, and his staff as well. So I guess without further ado, we have some final remarks for our superintendent.
Thank you, Ms. Whiting. Once again, congratulations to all of you who were recognized. The thing that I find most inspiring is that you can see that we have such a variety of nominees and winners, which is so important because it takes all of us to run this school division and to make it as great as it is. You know, I don't know if it's a matter of me getting older, but many, over half, I've worked with or know or something, a good relationship with them. So maybe it's a matter of just getting old. I must say this, congratulations to Mr. Smith as well as Ms. Hancock. And when Ms. Hancock was speaking, I texted my daughter who graduated 2 years ago, and she had Miss Hancock for math, and I said, Miss Hancock got the Star Award. She texts back, well overdue, Dad. So congratulations, Miss Hancock, and congratulations to each of you. Please join us with the refreshments. Thank you.